What's going on, everybody? It's Nixade here, and Dragon Ball Daima episode 9 is upon us. We got a little couple of fights going on in this episode, and the big reveal at the end is the introduction and reveal of the brand new Majin Buu character, Majin Kuu. And we will get to all of that in today's review. But before we get into further, just remember there will be some spoilers, some tidbits about the episode that I'm going to bring up. So go watch the episode first, then come back over here, listen to the review, let me know how I did, let me know if I forget anything. And with all that said and done, let's get into the episode. So we start off with Goku and his gang. They arrive on a hotel little island, stay the night, and they're noticed by two bounty hunters as they come in. And they're noticed how, because before they get in, Ponzi puts a little hat on Goku to hide his hair. He walks in, Goku doing Goku things, pulls the hat off. They see the spiky hair. They're like, yep, that's definitely the kid that everyone's been looking for. Follow that up with, they recognize he's carrying a round sack. So like, that's probably the Dragon Ball that everyone's been talking about. So they set up a little scene, set up a big setup to get the Dragon Ball. One of the guys turns into a giant werewolf, starts attacking everybody in there. And when everyone runs out of the room, has their back turned, his buddy jumps in, grabs the Dragon Ball, takes off. Goku and them are like, great, now we've lost the Dragon Ball, now we have to go find it. And Ponzi's like, no, don't worry, she's like, I have a tracker on the bag. So they track the bag, track the guys up, because instead of flying away, the bad guys run straight up, because they're like, the island, the hotel is like this giant system of caves that go up into the air. And they're like, and the bad guys, the thieves are like, yo, they'll never think to go straight up. And sure enough, Goku's standing there and he's like, yeah, can y'all just give me back the Dragon Ball now? They're like, oh god, no! And they take off running. He chases them down. They get into a little skirmish. Nothing much, more like, back and forth, hot potato type of thing. But eventually Goku gets the Dragon Ball back. They try to jump in. Glorio jumps in, uses his lightning magic, sends them flying off. Here's the funny thing about that whole scene. So when Glorio uses his magic and he sends out lightning, he basically uses it and turns it into like a whip that wraps around him, and he starts spinning them around and around and around, and then sends them flying off into the distance. And as they're flying off, not only did this remind me of a Team Rocket blast off from Pokemon, but they're doing straight up T-posing. Both of them are straight T-posing as they fly off and spin away into the distance. And I'm like, was that on purpose, or did they just say, this is good enough for the anime? You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's such a weird choice to have them just straight T-pose it as they fly away. Not even just like draw them as like shocked or like no, straight T-posing. And I'm just like, this is the weirdest choice to have these characters fly off at. But again, they were nothing more than just these dudes that try to steal from Goku and them, and it didn't pay off for them. But anyway, so when they get back to the hotel room, they're like, maybe we should leave. And they're like, Goku and all of them is like, no. Pansy's like, no, we have to stay. Yeah, we paid for this room, it's expensive. And Goku's like, I'll stay awake, I'll keep guard, you guys sleep throughout the night. And watching Goku in every scene basically fail to stay awake and struggle to stay awake is the most Goku thing I've seen yet. Because Goku starts off strong, right? He's like doing a little sparring, a little shadow boxing, being real quiet with how he does stuff. And then just slowly, as the night's progressing, he's just losing himself. Because I knew from the jump, Goku was not going to stay awake. And here's the thing. The episode's called Thieves. So I thought there would be like another incident of people trying to steal him, or those guys coming back and trying to steal the Dragon Ball again. But no, that's the last time we see of those guys. And that's the last time anyone tries to steal from them in this episode. And it's like, what? That's the thing with some of these episode names. The episode name consists of like a whopping 3 seconds, like a couple of minutes at most of the entire episode, and that's what you're gonna name it. I mean, I would have named it more like, I don't know, I would be like New Boo or something like that. I would have named something like that, which again I mentioned at the beginning of the episode video. But Thieves, I mean, sure, when you get to Vegeta, they had their plane stolen, so I guess another set of thieves. But I feel like the bigger reveal was the big reveal of the Majin Buu character at the end. But anyway, we'll get to him. But Goku failed to stay awake, and they're like, yeah, kind of no surprise. So they get in their plane, fly off. Inevitably, they have to run in. They go and catch up with Vegeta and them for a brief moment, because the night before as well, Vegeta and them landed on a similar little hotel island. They're out getting food. Vegeta bumps into this gang, and Vegeta does what Vegeta does. Straight up beats the crap out of all the guys there, and then goes about his day as if nothing happened. So during the night, that gang steals Vegeta's and them's plane. They're freaking out, which is a straight reference. I don't even know if I'd say it's directly a reference, but it's definitely a callback to, what was it? I believe the third or fourth episode. I think it was the third episode, where Goku, Shin, and Glorio stay at the hotel, and then the next night, during the night, their plane gets stolen as well. So this is just like a common thing in the demon world. You show up, if you don't look like you're a thug, you get your stuff stolen. And of course, they're freaking out. They're like, just call, we'll have Goku and them stop by and grab us. So when Goku and them land, they start talking. They're talking about the Dragon Balls, and they're like, all right, well, come on, let's get on the plane. And Panji and Goku's like, we don't have the space for it. Like, we can't take you guys. And Panji's like, we can't remove anything either. And Bulma's like, yes, you can. You can remove all the extra luggage you don't need. And Glorio's, of course, we can't remove our supplies, and we cannot remove our tents. So sorry, not sorry, but sorry. So they dip out, and Vegeta gets mad at Goku, and Goku's like, look, we're gonna go fight the next Tamagami. You guys can go fight King Goma if you want. Like, Goku is like, look, it's great to see you guys here, but hey, I got another big robot to go fight. You guys can wait for a plane from Panzi's dad, or you guys can go straight to fight Goma, whichever you want to do. This is where I'm going. And Piccolo even makes a remark about it, and he's like, all he's obsessed with right now is fighting those Tamagamis. And it's such a Goku thing, but it's also probably his worst habit. And that's just Goku for you. He looks forward to the next fight, and he knows the Tamagamis will give him a good fight, and that's just how he is. And of course, that just pisses Vegeta and Bulma off even more, because then Piccolo's like, maybe we should have brought Kibito. He can teleport. And he's making that reference because Bulma came instead of Kibito, and Bulma turns to him, have these bright red demon eyes looking like that, and she freaks Piccolo out. That's again, that old school Dragon Ball humor coming out into play. So I'm loving this show. Even if the episode isn't anything all that impressive, hey, it's funny to see that old school humor again. But before we finish off with Vegeta and them, the gang from last night that he beats up confronts them. They're like, we got a bunch of new guys. We're gonna get these really bad guys to jump you. We're not gonna take it getting beat up by a little kid. Because remember, everyone sees these people, sees Bulma and Goku and Vegeta, and they're like little kids. So like, I'm not gonna get beat up by a little kid. I'm not gonna take being beaten up by a little kid. So they hire these other bounty hunter guys to help them fight Vegeta and Piccolo. And they're like, well, you know what? Maybe it'll be a good stretch for us, and maybe a good distraction while we wait for the plane. They beat him up in just a matter of seconds. I know, of course, they slowed it down, but they beat him up in a matter of seconds. Piccolo gets a little bit in. Vegeta's just kicking the crap out of these guys. And, of course, one of them tries to run away, but Piccolo confronts him, and he takes a swing at Piccolo. Piccolo knocks him out. Vegeta knocks the other one out. He's like, man, these guys weren't even a good distraction. And Hibbis was like, I know, I didn't. You guys work fast. I didn't even have a chance to eat more than 2 potato chips. What the? Because Hibbis, before all this went down, Hibbis was like, yo, I'm just a guide. I'm out. Nope. I'm going to go sit over here. Y'all don't pick a fight with me. And I'm telling you, I'm loving Hibbis with every episode he's in. Because this dude is so not committed to anything. And I love it. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Yajirobe, but way more funnier. Yajirobe gets real worked up for a lot of stuff. Hibbis just like, not my problem. He's like, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm not dealing with this. But so that was a really good little fight. It was really choreographed really well. It was really well done, really well animated. But again, it wasn't like a hype fight like we just got in the previous episode. But hey, 2 straight episodes, actually 3 straight episodes with some solid action throughout it. It was fun to see Vegeta and Piccolo throw down for a little bit. But where we last leave them is now they're waiting for another plane from King Kadan. So hopefully they'll catch up with Goku and Vegeta and them, or with Goku and them. So will we see them in the next episode? Well, I think so, because the preview shows Hibbis and Bulma in a plane flying. Like, that's the whole preview, just Hibbis and Bulma in the front seat talking. So clearly they're going to get the plane. I hope they go after Goku and them and not go straight to King Goma. I hope they go straight after Goku and them, because I want to see maybe Goku and Vegeta team up to fight one of the Tamagamis. Like I said in my review earlier this week, I hope the Tamagamis get progressively harder with each fight, which will force Goku and then Vegeta to fight more efficiently together. Because if each of them are the same level of strength, then we know Vegeta and Goku and them are going to have no problem with it. So I hope that they go after Goku, catch up with him, they come across a second Tamagami, and then they both have to work together to beat it or something like that. Because I want them to get progressively harder with each fight. Speaking, so that, and of course, that's how I want that to play out. Also in this episode, and that's how I want that. Again, that's how I want the stuff with the Tamagamis to play out. Sorry, I almost jumped myself too fast. With that done, briefly we see Goma and Degasu, and because in this moment we see Degasu talking to someone, one of his informants, and then he tells Goma, yo, those people, you know, that we turned into kids, they're here in the demon realm. And of course, Goma's like, what? Why are they here? Why are they here? Why are they after us? What are they doing here? Is it because of the Namek kid? They're here for the Namek kid, aren't they? Yes. Of course they do. And so he's freaking out because remember, Goma turned them into kids so that they wouldn't be a threat to him. And he also didn't think that they would come after him to the demon realm. So as he's freaking out here, he's like, we'll send some people to take care of them and stuff like that. Well, and then Dekasu's like, that might be a problem. And, Goma's freaking out. Why is that a problem? Why? And that's when he tells him, like, they already have the Dragon Ball from the third demon realm. So Goma freaks out anymore. He's like, they beat one of the Tamagamis already, even as the kids. Like, what? Because again, Goma knows he can't beat the Tamagami in a physical fight. His magic may be great, but clearly Goma's not strong enough even magically to beat one of the Tamagamis. So he's freaking out now that Goku beat one and got the Dragon Ball. And then Degazu's like, yeah, he did that yesterday. And Goma freaks out even more. And he's like, you've known since yesterday and you didn't say anything to me? So Goma is now going to be stressing for the rest of this. Because remember, up until this point, Goma didn't even know they came after him. Now he knows that they're in the demon world. Now he knows that what they're capable of. And he knows they're far beyond him, even as kids, because he can't touch a Tamagami. But he knows that they can beat a Tamagami. So how this is going to play out moving forward, I don't know, because Goma knows he can't touch them at this point. Dekasu knows he's not going to be able to touch them at this point. They are aware that their military police is nothing compared to Goku and inevitably Vegeta. So how Goma is going to go about this for the rest of the series of how to keep them from going up, or maybe come up with something to have the edge over Goku and Vegeta, I don't really know. I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out, because if they always keep talking that Goma's really powerful with magic, not so much physically. Okay, that's great and all. Like, it keeps him from being one of these fighters that's just typical punchy. You have a character that has to use magic. But even Goma doesn't want to mess with the Tamagamis, and he knows he can't confront them, which means even magically he can't beat the Tamagami. But the minutes from Dekasu that Goku not only fought a Tamagami but beat a Tamagami is all that Goma needs to know. Crap, I don't know what I can do to beat him. I don't know. And so he's gonna have to come up with something to beat them moving forward. And speaking of someone that clearly had another plan to beat them, as we saw in last episode, Anrisu was working with Marba to create a new Majin Buu character. This was like her second attempt, because in the last episode she did say, we created one, it didn't work out very well. It didn't go, which the reason why it didn't work out well is because, she didn't have the Majin Buu essence, and that's what she needed. So whatever Marba did when she created the very first Majin Buu, it worked to create the creature to make it very powerful, but it also made it insanely uncontrollable. So when they were putting together this new one, they're like, we got to get the Majin Buu essence, we got to make sure we have all this stuff. She went very meticulous to make sure this one wasn't as crazy or wild or uncontrollable. Like, she took all the necessary steps to make this one far more, I wouldn't even say so much obedient, but much more controllable. And as the goo's coming together, like, it's perfect now, she pulls out these things, she calls them Cybermen seeds, which, if you guys remember from the very first reveal with Nappa and Vegito all the way back in the 80s, Nappa had these little pills, Cyberman pills, puts them in the dirt, and in the same way that Marba does, he buries them in the dirt, creates Cybermen. Now, is this implying that Marba is the one that creates them, and then they got out of the demon world, made their way to the Saiyans, or this theory that keeps running around the internet that the Saiyans are demons, the Ozoru, and no, I don't think that's what it means. Not in the slightest. Also, because that theory doesn't hold up super well, because there's no proof that the Saiyans were once monkeys, thus and then became humans. The Ozoru transformation works kind of like a werewolf transformation. So even those in fiction that are stored like they're born as a werewolf, they still can transform, but they're like human at heart. They're not some giant wolf monster that transforms into a human. It's not like Man-Wolf from Dragon Ball. Man-Wolf from Dragon Ball is a werewolf that transforms into a man at night. But most typical werewolf transformation are their man that transform into a werewolf, which is basically what the Ozoru transformation is. So no, unless they decide to change it, or unless they decide to really structure the story well, the Saiyans are not from the demon realm, and their Ozoru transformation, just because they have pointy ears, does not mean they're from the demon realm, because they also said, like the second episode, that not every being with pointed ears is from the demon realm. So will y'all please stop with that really, really ridiculous theory? Please stop. Because there's enough evidence in Daima to tell you that Saiyans are not from the demon world, and there's enough evidence to show you that their transformation is not their original state. It's something that they can do because of their tails. So really stop. What I think is the thing with the Cybermen pills is that, much like how Anrisu went and gathered the Majin Buu essence, similar to probably what Marba's done with the Cybermen seeds, she really did create them, because she did say, I used to have enough, I can just sell these to people, which I think is the connection they're trying to point to this, that Marba is the reason the Cybermen are a thing, and then she sold the pills out to people, or she saw what the Saiyans did when they created the Cybermen pills, because if I can remember correctly, the Cybermen were a creation of the Saiyans. It's been a minute since I read that up part, and I'll go back and reread it for you guys. But I see it either going one of two ways. Either that Marba really was the creation, and she's found ways to sell them out until the mortal realm. But it also seems like Marba's never left the demon realm, so I don't see how she's selling it to the demon realm. And this is really like one of the few interactions she's had with Anrisu, so I don't think she's working with Anrisu for all these years and selling stuff. So I don't think that's the route they're trying to go with. I think what it ends up being more so, Marba found out about the Cybermen that the Saiyans had, and she pretty much found a way to recreate them the same way. I think that's what it's trying to say. Could be the other one where she created them and she sold them and they got out to the Saiyans, but I don't think so. I think it's that she found out about them, about the creation, she made some herself, and she sells them within the demon realm. That's what I think is the direction they're going. With all that conversation about the Cybermen, they use the Cybermen pills to finalize the creation of the new Majin Buu character, and his name is Majin Kuu. And she literally says it. She gives the pill to Anrisu. She's like, bury it so far. They put it back in. Starts to grow. The thing shoots out of the cauldron, and she's like using the base of a Cyberman, various monster parts, and the essence of Majin Buu. We have created the new Majin character, and his name is Majin Kuu. And Anrisu has full control over him for the most part. At least that's from the jump, it seems like that. And she orders him, hey, go right out and take down Tamagami 1. And Marva's like, wait. Really? You're gonna have him go take down Tamagami 1? Isn't that really insane to have him go fight that one right now? And Anrisu's like, look, if he's not strong enough to take down a Tamagami, this whole plan falls apart anyway. And that's because Goku's already beaten a Tamagami. So if the new Majin character they just created isn't strong enough to take out a Tamagami, then there's no point in having him. And I completely agree with Anrisu on this. And the episode ends with, the Tamagami showing pure sentience already. And it was like, he said something like, I forgot what he said, mission accepted, or on my way, or he says like awesome, something like that. But he spoke right out the gate. So clearly this Majin character has already this Majin Buu character already has way more sentience than Bibidi's Majin Buu character ever did way back in the past. And we know Majin Buu gained more sentience and intellect when he became Fat Buu, and then of course Super Buu, and the more he absorbed it. But the base being Kid Buu, remember, it didn't have any of that. It was just a mindless, thoughtless being that craved carnage and destruction. Whereas this Majin Buu character, Majin Kuu, full sentience from the jump, and he does look like a Cyberman. Like his head's got that Cyberman shape and stuff like that, but he also has a little bit of the Majin Buu look to him, a little bit. He doesn't have the antenna or anything like that, but he's got the more Cyberman looking head. But he's got like this golden sheen kind of coloration to him. He's got the it's a look. It's a look. I saw the look earlier before I got a chance to watch the episode on Instagram. I'm like, what? Again, I hadn't watched the episode yet, so I was like, someone's pulling my, like, nah, that was totally it. It's an interesting choice. I will say that much. That is an interesting choice for the new Majin Boo-esque character, Majin Kuu. But hey, moving forward, I look forward to seeing, hopefully we get to see him do some stuff in the next episode, and I do look forward to seeing the inevitable fight with Goku and Majin Kuu and Vegeta. And he may make a reference, and hopefully we get to see Goku and Vegeta make a reference back to Majin Buu whenever they fight the new one, Majin Kuu. But all in all, this week's episode was a pretty basic episode. Wasn't anything crazy, nothing hype, nothing incredible. Super went down. It still looks amazing. Like, they really put in the work to make the show look incredible. Well done. The animation's clean and crisp all the way through. Real good comedic gags throughout it. Very classic Dragon Ball. And again, this reveal with Majin Kuu and his full creation, it sets an interesting... I'm just curious to see how it plays out. Again, as far as we know, he's not involved with Super or anything like that, so either Majin Kuu dies or they destroy him, or maybe he's just trapped in the Daima. Who knows what ends up with Majin Kuu? All we know is he's not in Super, and they may use him once Super comes back. Who knows? But all in all, fun episode. Pretty basic episode, but fun episode nonetheless. And that's going to be it for my review of Dragon Ball Daima Episode 9. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. If I missed something, hey, just drop in the comments and let me know. But until next time, everybody, see ya.